hello, and welcome to the Leadership Reality Podcast with your girl, Taiji Charity. This podcast is for C-suite leaders to discuss their experiences and provide insight, encouragement, and inspiration for seasoned and inspiring leaders, offering valuable solutions to today's challenges that will inspire, ignite, and invigorate new and seasoned leaders to walk in their God-given authority with compassion, kindness, and empathy. So sit back, relax, and be prepared to be inspired with today's episode of Leadership Reality. Thank you. Welcome to another episode of Leadership Realities with me, Taiji Charity. Today's guest is a powerhouse in the entertainment industry, Miss LyNea, aka LB Bell. She is the CEO and partner at Bell Hall Talent Incorporated. LyNea has built a successful agency representing talent across television, film, music, comedy, voiceovers, and more. With a career spanning over 25 years, she has distinguished herself as a visionary leader and a pioneer. Beyond her agency work, LyNea made history by launching Got Connect, a unique privacy-focused search engine, positioning her among the first African-American women to achieve such a milestone. Her dedication to innovation and community extends throughout the Got Connection Foundation, which champions literacy and outreach programs alongside her ventures like Got Connection University for skill building, Got Connections Apparel for faith-based fashion, and Got One TV, a streaming platform delivering diverse, inspiring content. You all will be able to see this year's Kids Film Awards on Got One TV in a few weeks. Whoop, whoop. I'm so excited about that. Through each endeavor, LyNea drives forward with an entrepreneurial spirit that knows no bounds, pushing the limits of what possibilities in the entertainment, tech, and community impact really looks like. Her journey is one of resilience, creativity, and growth, a beacon for aspiring leaders ready to make a difference in the world. LB, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hey!
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. I almost want to do the color purple. Me
I
and
know.
my sister, Deborah. I'm so excited. Look,
Thank you.
a whole network, a whole streaming channel. Who are you? How? Tell us about you. Tell us about LB, how LB got started. When did LB just realize that she was a leader? Like, just start from the beginning.
Well, I'm a triplet.
A what?
A triplet. So there's three of me. I have two brothers. I'm the girl.
Are you serious?
I am serious. Yes.
Wow. What was that like growing up?
Leadership.
I know that's right.
Being in charge, being told to make sure you round up folks. So it was something.
Yes.
My mom, so if you said go back to the history, my mom's a quadriplegic.
Oh,
so she was
wow.
shot when we were 2.5, but I find strength, where I find tenacity, where I find growth, where I find there's no such thing as can't, push through, power through. I dedicate that to her.
Yeah.
So in her situation, I believe she was like 21, 22, tragic accident, but she had triplets, and they told her she'd be a quad, she'd never work again. She wanted to make sure her children were not split up, because obviously that's what they were trying to do. She did rehab, took us, all three of us, moved to Los Angeles.
Ooh, one of the hardest cities in the world.
Culver City.
Wow.
And she raised triplets by herself. So
my God.
our independence started at a very, very young age. And, I've adopted the word, there's no such thing as I can't. You can, you just may need a little assistance.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so forward moving on from there, 2005, 2006, I was reading my concordance, praying. I had a 2-year-old running around, and the Lord told me to pick up my son's Barney puzzles. And he said, throw them in the air, and I did. And he said, these are my people, they're all scattered. And he said, I want you to help start connecting the dots.
Oh my God.
Planting seeds, connecting people. I first took it to my church, super excited. The Lord's talking to me. I hear his voice.
Yeah.
And the church I want to stay positive. It wasn't received correctly. And this was way before the Google blew up. This was way before the web. We were still trying to figure out what the web was. I was discouraged. Yeah, and I didn't understand. I didn't understand the lack of support. People saw the vision, but I didn't understand the lack of support. And then I even heard, well, how come you got great ideas? Why didn't the Lord bless? I mean, it was a lot of stuff. And I'm like, wait, what? But out of that discouragement, I kept that book. I have this little PowerPoint, and I kept that book with me through every single move. I always kept saying, hey, you know what, one day. Fast forward, COVID happened. And the world shut down, right?
Yes.
And I sent my son, I think he was 19 at the time or 18. I had him go live with his father, and I grabbed my Bible and I said, Father, it's me and you. What do you want me to do? He said, I already called you to do something. And that's how we started.
I just need to sit in that for a moment. Amazing. God has a plan.
Yeah, always.
For every last one of us.
Yes.
But the key was to sit and listen.
Be obedient to
and
what He's called you to do.
Obedient. My God. But that's so powerful to throw up a puzzle piece from Barney out of all, right?
Yes.
And He said, my people are scattered. It's time to scatter, and it's time to connect them. Oh my goodness.
So everything you hear about us is God connection. It means God's over this. And it's connecting the pieces, and we're all connected.
We are absolutely all so how though? How did you get the channel started? Like, what did you do? What were some of the steps that you took? Like, God spoke, you said yes, and then what?
Well, actually, so it started off with I was in a walking group as COVID was going on, and I had some friends, and we were all walking. I had a cousin call me, and she said, hey, the Lord told me, she was a prophetess. She's like, the Lord told me that you have an assignment, and I'm here to help you. And I said, oh, I know, He already told me, right? So we're all walking, we're doing this walk, and I remember walking saying, you know what, it would be so cool if we could so let me back up. I had a girlfriend in Sacramento, someone in San Diego. She was in Atlanta. Someone, I can't remember what city she was in. I think Ohio. And we were all three-waying, walking. And I was like, that would be super amazing if there was like some connection. Or guys, can you guys imagine us connecting all over the world, just walking and talking about God? Just like just walking and talking about it. And that was the birth of God Connection. So Clubhouse came, and one of my clients, she got an invite to Clubhouse, and they extended the invite to me.
Okay.
And I created my agency room. I had like 5 rooms I created and got connections. And the only room that got approved was Got Connections. Wow. And that's how we started. We started our ministry on Clubhouse every day, walking and talking about God, talking about a subject of the day, and we just let people hear. We let people, speak.
Yeah.
We worked on giving people a voice. Yes. And then from there, the search engine was formed. I was able to have some money saved, and I reached out to two of engineer friends, and we actually crafted a private search engine because I'm all about protecting people's privacy.
Yes.
And it is very easy to give up privileges when you don't recognize what you're giving up.
Yeah.
And so understanding that the technology will do what you tell it to do, but if you don't know what that is, you're giving up your rights. They make an avatar out of you. They copy your profiles. That's why you'll say something and then it pops up.
Right.
So I'm an advocate for privacy. I'm an advocate for personal belonging to that person, right? And not letting technology control a scenario, but we be the controllers of it.
This is just, I feel like I can just go in so many different directions because this is so good. So you're a talent agent.
I am.
When did you start that? Like, how did you end up in this entertainment space from the beginning?
My mom also was an actress, writer, producer, Regina Bell. And not that Regina Bell, but she always had us in the arts. I actually used to be a rap artist. I actually used to host interviews and music videos. I used to live in Seattle. I dated a very famous rap artist out of Seattle. I won't go into names.
Okay.
For 10 years. And it was just something I did. I didn't know they had a title for it. And I was around it all the time.
Yeah.
So fast forward, I was, and my younger brother, he sings. He had a manager come by, and he sat down and he was like, "Your sister's super intelligent." And I'm like, "Okay." And so he asked me to partner with him, and it was a branding company.
Okay.
And from there, Bentley Cow Evans was throwing it up front for family time, right?
Yes, I know his sister. I love Stacy.
Yeah, Stacy, yes. So we did a upfront for them so they could air family time and celebrate Angel Conwell's birthday.
Okay.
And from there, I met Sheila Leggett.
Okay.
And while I was there putting it on, everybody kept saying, "Are you running this? Are you doing that?" I'm like, "No, I'm just here helping." They were like, "I don't know."
You're doing more than helping.
You're doing more than helping, yeah.
Right.
And Sheila said, "Hey, you know what? I need you to come be my partner." And that's when I got the title. And I started off in product placement. I started off with celebrities, so I'm meeting my the folks that are Kenny Lattimore's, and I'm like, "Oh my God."
friend.
Yes.
I just found out you represent Kenny Lattimore. We were having a conversation, and you mentioned Kenny. I was like, "Kenny Lattimore, I just texted him a few minutes ago."
Yes.
That is so, wow, such a beautiful story. What has the journey been like, though? Because I know it hasn't been easy, especially when you're building something from ground zero, like Got Connect and Got One TV.
Got Con. Mm-hmm.
Got Con. So
Yes.
what was that like?
The first thing was being true to myself. Mm-hmm. My job had always been to be service for others.
Ooh, here we go with that selflessness conversation again. I like it.
And so I had to get off of and recognize that I too was called to do something.
Yeah.
And so there were many days where I was like, "Lord, I'm going to lose these clients. I'm going to lose this." And he kept telling me, "Well, how do you think you got them?"
Oh, hold on. I got to take a sip of water on. Ooh.
And so when you start recognizing
God with the comeback, okay?
when you recognize your purpose, the people that are for you and understand your purpose too, and understand your heart in that, they start supporting you. Because that was my fear. My fear was like, "I'm going to lose all these clients. They're like, she ain't focusing on us. We're going to do this." And I would understand, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously that was my livelihood as well.
Yeah.
But being called to do something and hearing that voice loud, audibly, it's like you make a decision.
Yeah.
And so I chose he said right, I just had to go right.
Yes.
And I prayed that other folks understood that. And I was like, I'm still here. I can still help service, but I still have to move.
The assignment.
You
have to obey.
And what I learned, though, so many clients and people, they want people that believe in the Lord. They want to work with people that actually, and at my agency we prayed, but I wasn't going out like, "Yes, I'm this," and we just, that was kind of
you just live it.
You just live it.
You just live it.
And so starting the room, we had a lot of talent come in the room,
Yeah.
and they listened and they were uplifted to hear and say, "Hey, you know what? There's another person that believes in the same things I believe in as well, and this is cool. I can connect without being sold to Hollywood." I just said that right there.
That you just dropped that right there.
Yes.
Because we know how that could be. But let me tell you, I appreciate the fact that when you shared the vision, even with the church, you didn't get the support you needed, right?
At first, no.
The efforts and all of the things that you needed. But it didn't change what God told you to do.
No.
Right?
Right.
So you still had to make a decision in that moment. Am I going to seek the approval and validation from the church, or am I going to seek approval and validation from the one who gave? I'm about to throw my cue cards and do a run around this doggone podcast set here. That is just so powerful in and of itself. What that faith journey is like, and what that trust journey is like, and what just being obedient is really like. So Got One TV is in how many homes right now?
187 million.
Can you say that one more time?
187 million homes, not including foreign.
Oh my goodness. Y'all, and we're going to be showing the Kids Film Awards. Yay! Look, God knows exactly what he's doing, because I think I shared with you that one of the things we've been wanting to do is have a platform or outlet via broadcast media of the Kids Film Awards to show the world the resilience and the amazing young people and these stories and all the things that we're telling, just really elevating them. And mainstream television is like, it's cool. And God's like, you don't need mainstream television. I got you.
Yes.
I got you. And here this opportunity came because I didn't know. And the thing about it is I heard Miss Diane Charté, who we both know.
Diane, yes.
She is the executive producer of the Kids Film Awards. She had mentioned it before and I was like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, but then it came right back around. And I was like, okay, let me pay attention. And here we are. You all were there this past week.
Yes.
I'm not sure. This will probably air in December, but you all were there and captured the entire Kids Film Awards.
Yes.
So now we get to broadcast, and God is just connecting like-minded people
together. And it's funny, in 2005, on this PowerPoint, I love doing mind maps, so to me it's a mind map. I did entertainment. Again, I wasn't in it. I was a realtor at the time, right? I was a realtor, notary, loan officer, but I wrote entertainment. I wrote legacy home and loans. I wrote a news. I think it was a news. If I'm correct, it was a news media company or news magazine. I wrote a giving room, like a shelter, or where you're just giving stuff, right? A feedback. It was like a home, if you will. Shirley Caesar used to sing the song, and I was inspired by that. And two other things. And when I look at it now and I think about, wow, I knew nothing about, really, I didn't understand entertainment like I do now, but he already put into me what was happening now. So fast forward to having Got One TV. Fast forward to having the community with the directory. We have a whole directory of connecting people globally. Fast forward, so again, what is the scripture? Habakkuk, write the vision,
and make it plain.
And make it plain. So he was brewing something in me, and the difference, or what we have to do, is just be obedient to walk through it. For me,
even when you have people that don't support you, who you think will support you,
and you being your biggest sabotager as well.
Yes, you
don't have to know how. I just said okay. If you said right, I didn't say why. I'll tell you, there was I had hired, we have our own Facebook. It's called Got Connect Social, right? Got Social. And I was building it. It was my second programming. And right before the launch, the engineer disappeared.
Oh.
We were launching that day. So this was like maybe 2 a.m. And I just start praying. And I remember sitting in front of the computer, and it was like the Lord just said, do this, do this, do this. All that programming I learned back in, I don't know, when I was 16, just start coming back to me.
Wow.
And it was like, do this, do this. And I created a social media app. Just by listening. And again, if you key in and just listen, he'll guide you, but you have to trust it and not question it, because we actually get in our way a lot of times.
Oh, don't I know it. I heard a sermon by a friend of mine once called Respect the Process. And it was one of those messages that just resonated so well, because we are individuals who we think we're in control.
Yes.
Right?
That's
and we feel like we got to control
the scenario.
The scenario. And oftentimes it's about letting go of the control and just trust the divine.
Yes.
Right?
Trusting.
Trust the divine to lead, to order your steps, to guide you. And we don't always know how to do that because we think and want to be in control. So how did you build your team around you? Because to have a network and a talent agent representing, so many celebrities and in so many homes, how did you build this team around you?
So what happened in Clubhouse, people would come in and the Lord would actually illuminate them. They would light up and he'd say, that person. And I just said, hey, you know what? I know this sounds crazy, but the Lord told me that you're supposed to be XYZ, or we need to work together.
Wow.
And they would come back and they'd be like, you know what? This is like my tribe. This is I fit here. And so we made everything safe in an environment where folks wanted to come in and be a part. The ones that the Lord called on are still around, and the ones that the Lord didn't call on, that I was listening to man or listening to other folks,
moved on.
They moved on. But I think there's a reason, season, And as you walk in the journey of that, you find out who's there, who believes in the vision.
Yeah.
And then you all will learn to grow together because we're all connected. One of the cool
Absolutely.
things in the room, there's no titles in the room. There's no titles. You can't come in saying, I'm pastor, I'm bishop, none of that.
None of
You are
that.
just Tony. Hi, Tony.
Yes.
Hi,
And I
Cherie.
love
Hi,
that.
hi, whoever.
Because oftentimes you ask people like who they are and they start rambling off titles and all that. And it's like, no,
No
no, no. I
titles.
said, who
Are
are
you?
you?
Thank
So
you.
what advice do you give to someone who say, well, I don't know how to hear the voice of the Lord. I don't know what that's like. I don't know how, what advice would you give them?
Start with a relationship. You can't have a relationship with something if you don't invest the time in a relationship.
Yeah.
So, and what we've taught or what we teach, it's not about what I said, it's not about what he said, what was great. It's about your personal relationship. It's upward.
Yes.
So find that quiet time. Find that time, read, ask the Lord to show up. And then so you can start hearing.
Yes.
Because that's what it is. And then trust what you hear
Yes.
as well, right?
Yes.
But that's what I'd say. We talk about, don't be like, oh, LB says,
Right. Right.
What did the Lord tell you?
Yes.
And then stand in that.
Ooh. And sometimes he speaks in that moment of when you feel like you're completely depleted, when you've come to the end of yourself, because that's where I was. I was literally at the end of myself. Like, why am I even here?
Facts.
I started with that. What do you want from me? Like my job that I'd been working, my career of 16 years as a litigations claims specialist, which I end up hating towards the latter part of my career. I'm like, I feel so useless. I feel like this is not purpose driven. I don't feel like I'm making an impact. Like I'm not exercising the true love that I have for helping other people. I'm too busy investigating whether or not somebody's claim is fraudulent or not, right? Like I'm over this. And when I got to the end of just myself and was like, okay, what? That's when God reminded me of some young people that I'd met in foster care. And he had begun to just really share with me exactly the journey that he wanted me on. And I'm like, okay, but this is crazy because I'm not really in the entertainment industry.
Right.
I'm married to an actor, but my degree is in accounting, and I definitely don't know anything about social work. I don't know anything about Department of Children and Family Services. And I don't know anything about nonprofits. So make it make sense, God.
Make it make sense, huh?
Make it make sense. But he said, I take the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. Because it felt foolish for me to do what?
I love that scripture. Yeah.
How? I don't. But then trusting that process and letting him just order your steps along the way.
But that's the key word is trusting.
Trusting.
I like living in the unseen. So
that's what faith is.
That's
the
what
substance
faith is.
of things hoped for and the evidence of things
unseen.
not seen.
Yes. We have been so, what is the word I want to use? So programmed, I'm thinking I'm going to say, I'll use that, for worldly stuff, to see things, to believe it, and not tapping into the unseen.
Yeah.
I live that part, and I know what that looks like.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to tap in and to be led and be saying, okay, I'm giving up the control. I'm giving up this. Father, where do you want me to go and trust that positioning that I'm at that time is where he needed me to be, as opposed to me conquering what I want this to be and then messing it all up because I can't do this by myself. I knew half of the stuff that's happening now.
Yes. That is, look, he said, let my light shine before men so they can see my good works. You doing some good work.
Thank you.
And I know it has not been easy.
Oh.
One of my last guests called it the heaviness of the blessing. I think that was the term she used. Like there is the weight of the blessing. That's what it was, the weight of the blessing. Because there is a weight, but there's a blessing and a responsibility in the work that you're doing. So
and then you have to define what is weight.
What? Oh, come on. Let's dig a little deeper. Let's dig a little deeper.
Because the weight, a lot of people will do the WAIT. And then when you understand the weight, the heaviness of it is the blessing.
Yes.
Recognizing the heaviness, because again, through any heaviness, you're going to get the outcome because you've already won the victory. A lot of people do the weight.
We're in a fixed fight. We're in a fixed fight.
They do the weight and they don't move. And that's not what he's saying. He's saying go forward, right? Yes, you might have this bag. Matter of fact, give me the bag so you can continue to keep walking through that. So perspective is what we get.
So important. Well, faith without works is dead. You
Facts.
still have to do the work. We were talking before the show started, and you were saying there's certain things you just have to do it. Because like I said, I didn't know anything about nonprofit. I didn't know anything about child welfare. I didn't know anything, much about the entertainment industry except for showing up on set
Right.
with my husband and like, where's craft services? Because they always have good food on set. I'm like, where are we going? But really just saying, I trust the process,
Right.
and I'm gonna do what makes sense,
Right.
and I'm gonna listen.
Even if it doesn't make sense.
And even if it doesn't make sense.
Because you don't have to understand. Yes.
You don't always have to understand.
That's where that's my space now. I've gotten a lot, I debated with someone, a friend. He was like, well, how do you know you hurt the Lord? And he challenged me. He said that the Lord only, he didn't challenge me. He said something crazy. But he said the Lord he puts people in positions that are skilled in that position. And I said, I don't think so.
That's the foolish. What did we just talk about?
Exactly.
He take the foolish things of the world to confound the wise.
And I said, and so, there was a whole debate about that. And I said that's where you're wrong, because he'll take anybody that's willing to listen and follow the lead, because he's created everything. He's the architect. He's the beginning. He's the end. He's the
manufacturer
of all. So I'm
all.
like, for me to not believe that everything he put in me was already stirred up for where he wanted me to be and grow me into, that's the thing that I like to tap into. You put me in this position. I don't know it, but I already know that you already saw the outcome.
Yes.
I'm not worried about failing. I'm not worried about a lack. I'm not worried about any of that. I'm focusing on what you asked me to do for that, and understanding that servitude for that moment, for that time, for that day, for as long as it takes.
Because at the end of the day, he said all things work together for you. You know what, LB? We about to have church, and they telling me that I only got 5 minutes left. Okay. How we gonna do this? I feel like we just scraping the surface. There's a part two. Sharpens iron.
I know, right?
This has, just amazing. So let me ask you this: who inspire you as a leader?
My mom.
Hey, I like that. And we talked about her.
Yes.
Disability didn't get in the way. Tragedy didn't get in the way. Setbacks didn't get in the way.
Let me tell you something then. This woman, okay, she had the diagnosis, or, that's what the ward told her, that she wouldn't use her arm, she wouldn't drive. She got more shoes than I do. She drives. She has 2 cars, a Mercedes. She got married, had another child 11 years later.
Are you serious?
Alive, serious.
Oh, my God.
Right. So when I think about strength, when I think about the odds, or fighting the odds and not letting society tell you what to be.
Yes.
I give that to her. And I took from that. I graduated high school at 16. I had a kid at 15. And but again, taking those tools with me was, no, I'm not going to listen to what you tell me, because again, even from medicine on, they will try to program you to a belief system that's not real. So I always say, well, who told you that?
Yes. And now with social media and everybody's on with opinions and trends and all of that stuff. Because I usually ask leaders, like, do you follow any trends? And because people see other things that's happening and they feel like, oh, well, I gotta subscribe to this, or I gotta, this is how they're doing it now. This is what's happening in the now. You gotta stay relevant. You gotta stay, and my message is, you gotta stay true
to you.
To you. And what you've been called to do.
Come on.
Oh, my goodness. So tell me, how would people describe you as a leader?
Team player.
Oh, good.
Very much a team player. I listen to a lot of folks. I empower a lot of folks.
Yes.
I don't want to be anyone's boss.
I like that. I always tell people, they go, boss lady, and I'm like, it's more than a cute slogan. It is so much more than a cute little slogan.
Yes. Because that means I'm over you, and I choose not to be. God's over you.
Oh, that's good.
So I can help and empower you,
yes,
so you can understand who you are, and then you get to be the best who you are and how He's created you to be.
Ooh, wait. I just look. So let me ask you this too, before we go. How do you, as a leader of the organization, balance a team, although you don't, it's like, I don't want to be the boss over you, but at the end of the day, you have to make some very tough decisions about the company, about the organization. How do you balance that with creative leaders that are around you that have their own ideas and things like that? How do you balance it?
I listen to them. There's oftentimes I let them do that. I let them
Okay.
do it, and then they'll see it didn't work, and I'm like, okay, you guys ready to listen? Okay, let's go here, and then we'll do that. Because I'll point that, and every time, especially an agent comes in, their success, how they've done it, and I'm like, okay, great, go for it.
Right.
Oh, it's not working. LB, I need your help. Okay, great. You ready to listen?
Let's do
go.
this. Let's roll up our sleeves and do
Yes.
this.
So it's more coaching, more mentoring.
Yeah.
Because again, it's development and it's growth. We all iron sharpening iron.
Yes.
So we can all learn something. And I refuse to cut off. I don't want to be the only one that knows everything.
Yes.
I want you to know some things. You go out, tell me, what did you come up with?
Yes.
Hey, how can we put these two things together and make it better?
Yes.
Right? So I love the
Ooh, I
round
love
table
it.
ideas.
I want you to know more than me. Look, I need you to know more than I do. This has been so amazing.
Thank you.
I hate to have to wrap up.
I know.
But we're going to do this again.
Part two. We're going to have part two.
We're going to air this on Got One TV.
Absolutely. Yes.
We need the leadership reality on Got One TV. Y'all going to tune in, right?
Yes.
You're going to tune in.
Yes. Consider
Well,
it done.
Thank you. This has been amazing. Thank you so much for saying yes. Thank you for being just a God-fearing leader who's not ashamed of the gospel.
Come on.
I love that. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show today. Thank you again for tuning in. I know you grabbed something today that will help you on your leadership journey. So remember to do those 3 magical words, because if you got something, somebody else might need to get something. So be sure to share, like, and subscribe. Until next time, stay focused on your leadership journey and what you're called to do. Bye now.
Can I say one thing?
Yes, let's do it.
One of the things that I always say is do you, be you, and shine.
There you have it. We're wrapping it up with that. Do you, be you, and shine. Thank you so much. Bye now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for today. I hope you were inspired and you gained some valuable nuggets that will help you to become a better leader and to walk in your God-given authority. Bye until next time.